In a small village nestled between rolling hills and deep forests, there lived a girl named Emma. Emma was known for her bright smile and kind heart. She spent her days helping her family on their small farm and her evenings reading books under the old oak tree by the river. Emma had dreams of seeing the world, but her humble life kept her tied to the village. One sunny morning, as Emma was gathering wildflowers in the meadow, she saw a young man sitting by the river, sketching in a notebook. His name was Daniel, and he had recently moved to the village to care for his ailing grandmother. Daniel was quiet and shy, but he had a passion for art that spoke volumes about his soul. Emma approached Daniel with her bouquet of wildflowers. "Hello," she said, her voice soft and friendly. Daniel looked up, startled, but then smiled warmly. "Hi," he replied, closing his notebook. "I'm Daniel." "I'm Emma," she said, handing him a flower. "This is for you." Daniel took the flower and placed it carefully in his notebook. "Thank you, Emma. It's beautiful." From that day on, Emma and Daniel became inseparable. They spent their days exploring the woods, sharing stories, and dreaming about the future. Emma would read aloud while Daniel sketched, capturing the beauty of their surroundings and the magic of their moments together. As the months passed, Emma and Daniel's bond grew stronger. They confided in each other their deepest fears and greatest dreams. Emma found herself falling in love with Daniel's gentle nature and his artistic spirit. Daniel, too, felt a deep affection for Emma, who brought light and joy into his life. One evening, under the stars, Daniel took Emma's hand. "Emma, you've become so important to me," he whispered. "I don't know what I would do without you." Emma's heart swelled with emotion. "I feel the same, Daniel," she said, tears glistening in her eyes. "You've changed my world." Life, however, is not always kind to young lovers. One fateful day, Daniel received a letter. His grandmother's condition had worsened, and his family needed him to return to the city. The news struck Emma like a thunderbolt. The thought of losing Daniel was unbearable. "I have to go," Daniel said, his voice trembling. "But I promise I'll come back for you, Emma. I promise." Emma nodded, trying to be strong. "I'll wait for you, Daniel, no matter how long it takes." Days turned into weeks and weeks into months. Emma wrote letters to Daniel, pouring her heart into every word. But as time passed, the letters stopped coming. Emma's heart ached with longing and uncertainty. She would visit the old oak tree every evening, hoping to see Daniel walking towards her, but he never came. Years went by, and Emma's hope began to wane. The village changed, new faces appeared, but Emma remained the same, a girl waiting for her love to return. One cold winter day, many years later, a weary traveler arrived in the village. It was Daniel. His hair was streaked with gray, and his once bright eyes were clouded with sorrow. He had returned to fulfill his promise, but he was not the same man who had left. Daniel went to the old oak tree, his heart heavy with regret. There, he found Emma, now a woman, but still as beautiful as he remembered. Her eyes widened in shock and then filled with tears. Emma, Daniel whispered, his voice breaking. I'm so sorry it took me so long. Emma ran to him, wrapping her arms around him. I waited for you, Daniel, she sobbed. I never stopped waiting. As they sat under the oak tree, Daniel explained what had happened. His grandmother's death had left him devastated, and the responsibilities that followed kept him in the city. He had written letters, but they had never reached Emma. He had searched for her, but by the time he returned, she had moved to another village to take care of her sick mother. Emma listened, her heart breaking for the pain Daniel had endured. I'm here now, she said, holding his hand. And I still love you, Daniel. I always will. Despite their reunion, time had taken its toll on both of them. Daniel's health was failing, and he knew he didn't have much time left. He spent his remaining days with Emma, cherishing every moment they had lost. One evening, as the sun set over the hills, Daniel took his final breath in Emma's arms. Emma wept, her heart shattered into a million pieces. She had waited so long, only to lose him again. Emma buried Daniel under the old oak tree, where they had shared so many precious moments. She planted wildflowers around his grave, a symbol of their undying love. Though her heart was heavy with sorrow, she found solace in the memories they had created together. Years later, children playing by the river would find Emma sitting by the oak tree, telling stories of a love that transcended time and distance. She became a legend in the village, the woman who waited for her true love and whose heart never wavered. And so, the story of Emma and Daniel lived on, a testament to the enduring power of love and the bittersweet beauty of a promise kept, even if it was too late. Emma lived the rest of her days with a quiet dignity, always visiting the oak tree where she and Daniel had shared their dreams. She never married, her heart forever belonging to the one she lost and found again. She would often sit by his grave, talking to him as if he were still there, sharing her day and her thoughts. One day, many years later, the villagers found Emma lying peacefully under the oak tree, a serene smile on her face. She had passed away in her sleep, finally reunited with her beloved Daniel in the world beyond. They buried her next to Daniel, under the shade of the tree that had witnessed their love story. Wildflowers bloomed around their graves, a reminder of the love that never died. The villagers would often tell the tale of Emma and Daniel, a story of love, loss, and the eternal hope that binds two souls together. And so, the legend of Emma and Daniel became a beacon of hope and love for generations to come, reminding everyone that true love, no matter how long it takes, never truly fades away.